Looking forward to stand-up comedy in Kingston? Comedian Logan Brown is hosting a comedy night that will be one to remember, with some of the best comedians in Ontario bringing you the most fun you can have on a Wednesday night. Logan is passionate about comedy and joins me in the studio to tell us about his upcoming evening on March 12th at Monte's. But first of all, I want to ask you, why do you enjoy comedy so much?
Oh, well, first off, thank you for having me in this beautiful living room of yours, April. Can I call you April?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. Okay, good. Just checking. I love comedy. Comedy's a great way to bring people together, you know. It's the only opportunity I get to wear this ridiculous getup on stage and be taken seriously. So it's a way to kind of get everybody crammed like sardines in a hot room. Like, we heat those suckers up to about 450 degrees Celsius, just cooking them. And for some reason, heat stroke gets people just laughing. And I kind of enjoy that power.
So what I'd like to also ask you is it hard to do stand-up comedy?
Not for me. I have what's called a natural talent or inclination to be wickedly funny on stage. Now, I've seen some people reduced to just tears. You know, some people will just melt on stage, but I get up there cool as a cucumber and just sort of people are laughing kind of as I'm walking onto the stage. It's pretty great, you know. Again, godlike power.
So let's go into talking about where you're going to be hosting and what you're going to be hosting coming up on in March.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be at the Tiernanog, more specifically the Monte's bar. Tiernanog is like a very special place. It was the first time I ever got to play a show and get paid for it. Was at the Tiernanog when I was a musician. This was 10 years ago. So when I moved back to Kingston, they were very nice to kind of offer me like little spots to do kind of whatever creative thing I was working on. And when I brought up the idea of doing a stand-up comedy event, they jumped all over it. So I'm bringing some friends of mine down from Ottawa. Mazhar and Bobby Knauff are two of my closest friends when I was living up there. And then I've got Bawn, who's a great friend of mine here living in Kingston. And then the mission statement behind the show is to bring, to sort of expand the comedy scene in Kingston and get it growing. I want to give people the opportunity to try doing stand-up. So we've got two fresh comedians. My partner, Savannah Shea, is going to be doing her first ever 5 minutes of stand-up. And then a friend of hers, Michael Baud, is going to be doing his first ever 5 minutes as well.
Let's go back to the folks you're bringing from Ottawa. Tell me a little bit more about them.
Kia is a really close friend of mine. He's actually living in my old place now. I moved out and then he kind of moved in. We had a comedy troupe together called Ruckus Comedy, where we created a show called Strip Joker, which is it's a show where every time you don't get a laugh, you have to take an item of clothing off. It's pretty fun. And then Bobby he was like one of the first headliners you ever saw that was kind of working his material in a way that really connected with me. He's been a huge mentor of mine, kind of taking me under his wing. We've done a bunch of shows on the road together with Yuks, and I'm also the musical director for his puppet show, Andre the Alien, That's Comedy. So it's a lot of great guys.
So let's go on just a little bit more. I want to ask you, you say you're a comedian,
yes,
but you also mentioned music. So at Monte's that night, will you be playing as well?
Yeah, so I'm going to be hosting the show, just kind of bringing the comedians up and doing a couple of jokes in between. And I'm a musical comedian, so I'll be playing some of my funny songs in between the comics. It's a ton of fun. They're a little raunchy, so just warning everybody. Just be prepared for some dirty jokes when I pull out the guitar. But other than that, it's great fun for everybody.
So doors open when?
Doors open at 7 o'clock. The show's going to start at 8. Yeah.
And tell us how you get tickets.
Yeah, you can get tickets. You can call or you can just send me a message on Instagram or any of the social media things. It's just @LoganDoingStuff, and I can reserve some seats for you. There's a Facebook group, but the best way to do it is to go to Ticket Scene, or you can type in Comedy Night at Monte's on Google, and it's the first thing that pops up. Tickets are $20 with a portion. Each month we're going to be doing these shows partnering with a different charity, and this year we're partnering with the Kingston Food Bank, so a portion of ticket sales are going to go to that.
And why do you want to do that?
I just want to give back. It's been a while. I grew up here in Kingston, and the art scene kind of groomed me to be able to kind of do this full time. So to kind of come back into town is like I'm 28, 29 now, and I feel like I've got a good enough head on my shoulders that's able to kind of give back to community and think outwardly as much as I can think about my own career. So I love Kingston so much, and to be able to give back is just great.
Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, was a full-time musician up until the pandemic happened, and then when I got a real job, I was able to kind of reassess and think about what I truly wanted to do as like a performer. I've always kind of been funny, and so I decided I wanted to start taking this again, this natural inclination to be hilarious on stage and just absolutely level audiences with my jokes and humor onto the stage. And yeah, pretty much since 2020, I've been doing stand-up pretty regularly. I've got my own record or my own album out called Black Man, White Privilege, and the accompanying special is going to be out on my birthday, March 14th. So it all kind of coincides with the show. Yeah.
And the music is as funny as you are as a comedian?
No, the music is more just. I mean, I can be funny in between the songs, but I do a lot of like cover shows, so it's usually other people's music. A lot of Peter Gabriel. I'm a big fan of Peter Gabriel, and I hope the audiences are too, because that's what you're going to get when you come and see me at Bob's Pub and Grub. But in between those, I'll crack some jokes. But for the most part, I'm just kind of playing the songs as written. So.
So one more quick question. And who was the person you looked up to in terms of a comedian?
Norm Macdonald is my favorite comedian. And then doing the musical comedy thing, I've found a love for, rekindled my love of Adam Sandler and Weird Al and guys like Flight of the Conchords, Tenacious D, stuff like that. So yeah, it's great. It's fun.
We wish you all the best. It's really great to have comedy in Kingston today.
Thanks for having me.